All right, hello, my wonderful students. This is Foldable 4. This is section 6.3, multiplying conjugates. So before we get into some of the work, I just want to do a little bit of a definition. A conjugate is actually a pair of two binomials that are almost exactly the same, but one is positive and one is negative. So once again, a conjugate is a pair of two binomials. So you see this, but one is going to be our positive one and the other one's going to be our negative one. So we have our 5 minus the square root of 7 times the 5 plus the square root of 7. So these are our pair of conjugates. So which are identical binomials except for the sign. So everything's the same here except for the sign. We have a negative here and a positive here. That shows you that they're conjugates. Alright, so we're going to do the same as we did before. We're going to go ahead and put our 5. We're going to put our minus square root 7 here. And then our 5, and then our plus square root 7. Multiply 5 times 5. These are 25. 5 times positive square root 7. Forgot to put our actual 5, so we have our positive 5 times square root 7. And we have our negative 5 times square root 7. You can already see that this is going to work out wonderfully. And then we have our negative square root 7 times our square root 7, which ends up being a negative square root 7 squared, which is going to equal to negative 7. So we'll go ahead and I think I use this for my purple. So we have my 25 here, and then my negative 7. Got my wonderful greens is negative 5 times radical 7. And then I have my plus 5 times radical 7. So this is the best thing about conjugates. So the conjugates here. So let me rewrite my equation. So I have my, purple. 25 minus 7. And then we have our plus 5 radical 7 minus our 5 radical 7. So we're going to go ahead and do our simplifying by combining like terms. So it's going to be 5 minus 7 is going to be 18 plus, and then we have our 5 minus 5 times our radical 7. But once again here, 5 minus 5 is actually 0. And 0 times anything is going to be 7. Or sorry, 0 times anything is not going to be 7. 0 times anything is going to be 0. So what's going to be left over is just our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 18 here. And that's going to, I'm doing pink. I've been boxing my answers in pink, I think except for 1. So that means when you multiply conjugates, it's like conjugates, that's how you spell it. So when you're doing this, the radicals, so when you're multiplying by, it's the middle terms usually, right? Because this is usually the middle terms. But when you're doing this, the radicals, terms add to 0.